So first problem already we solved. While solving the second problem, we got a small technical problem at the end. So again, I'm doing the second problem now. That is called 1.2. So yesterday I dictated that also. The electrostatic force on a small sphere of charge 0.4 microcoulomb due to another small sphere of charge minus 0.8 microcoulomb in air is 0.2 Newton. What is the distance between those two charges? This is Q1 and Q2 separated by a certain distance in air. It will experience a force. And he says that they are placed in air. Whereas Q1 is equal to 0.4 microcoulomb, Q2 is equal to minus 0.8 microcoulomb, F is equal to 0.2 Newton. Then what is the distance between those two charges? Now here, there will be a electrostatic force of attraction between these two charges. Then F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square, whereas F is equal to 0.2 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, which is equal to 9 into 10 to the power of 9. Q1 is 0.4 microcoulomb. So 0.4 micro, that is nothing but 10 to the power of minus 6. And Q2 is equal to minus 0.8. Though it is minus is there, we have to take plus only. 0.8 microcoulomb divided by R square. Then R square is equal to 9 into 10 to the power of 9. 0.22 times it will be. So 2 into 0.8, 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 12. Now R square is equal to 9 into 1.6, I will write 16 into 10 to the power of minus 1, minus 13. So minus 13 plus 9. How much it will be? 10 to the power of minus 4. Then take the square root on both sides. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 16 is 4. Square root of 10 to the power of minus 4 is minus 2, which is equal to 12 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meters, or we can write it as 12 centimeter. So in that second point, what he is asking is, what is the force on the second sphere due to the first sphere? What is the force on the second sphere due to first sphere? So what the Coulomb's inverse square law will always, the electrostatic force will always obey Newton's third law. So for every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. In the same manner, how much force the second one will experience on the first, the same amount of the force the first one will experience on the second. So how much force the second will experience on the first, the same amount of the force the first will experience on the second. So the force on the second sphere, the force on the second sphere due to first sphere is the same, which is 0.2 newtons only. Third problem. Third problem. That is 1.3. Already I instructed you to copy all the questions. So now onwards, I am not dictating the question. Just go through that question. Check that the ratio Ke square by G MEMP is dimensionless. So I need to check, is it dimensionless or not? By saying that it is the ratio of two charged particle, the ratio of the forces between the two charged particle. For example, I am considering two charged particle, one is an electron and one is a proton. E indicates electron, P indicates proton. Because of their masses, there is a gravitational force. Because of the charges, electron and proton are the charged particles. Because of the charges, there will be an electrostatic force. Now between these two, electron and proton, two forces will act. One is an electrostatic force because of their charges. Other one is the gravitational force because of their masses. Now electrostatic force is equal to, what is the formula? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught electrostatics, capital E, is equal to Q1. So Q1 is nothing but the charge of an electron E, and Q2. Q2 is the charge of a proton. Charge of an electron and the charge of a proton is E only, divided by R square. Similarly, there will be a gravitational force between these two because of their masses. What is its formula? G M1, that is the mass of an electron, M2, that is the mass of a proton, divided by R square. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is equal to K, what he considered constant. So K E square by R square. If I divide these two expressions, that is Fe by Fg, then R square and R square get cancels if I divide these two equations. Now what we are going to have? K E square divided by G ME MP. That is the equation what he gave. So now here force and here force. Here the unit of the force is Newton. Here is also the unit of the force is Newton. Newton and Newton get cancels. So this ratio is a unitless. Since it is an unitless, then it is also a dimensionless. Like that we can conclude. So Ke square by G ME MP is a dimensionless. That is one method. One more method is substituting the units or substituting the dimensional formulas. Then what is the dimensional formula for K? Here, this is, I am calling it as a K. From here, K is equal to f r square by e square. F r square by e square is the K. Already I discussed its dimensional formula also, where F indicates the force. The unit of the force is, the dimensional formula of the force is mlt power minus 2, and r stands with the distance. Distance is nothing but a length. The dimensional formula for length is L square. E stands with a charge. The dimensional formula of the charge is AT whole square. From here we are going to have m L cube. If it goes t to the power of minus 4, if it goes a to the power of minus 2 is the dimensional formula for K. Next, G. What is the dimensional formula for G? The dimensional formula for G, from this equation I will write G is equal to F R square by ME MP. Now, F is nothing but the force. F is nothing but a force. R is nothing but a length. Mass M square. Now its dimensional formula will become m to the power of minus 1 L into L square L cube t to the power of minus 2 is the dimensional formula of G. If I substitute those dimensional formulas here, K E square by G M E M P, K dimensional formula just now we got M L square, L cube t power minus 4 t power minus 4 a power minus 2. E is nothing but a charge. Charge is nothing but AT whole square a square t square by G is dimensional formula just now we got m to the power of minus 1 L cube t power minus 2. M is the mass, here is also mass, so we are going to have m square. Now m to the power of minus 1 into m square, m, this m will get cancels. L cube and L cube get cancels. A get cancels. Idi get cancels. Then finally we are going to have m to the power of 0, L to the power of 0, t to the power of 0, a to the power of 0. So it is a dimensionless. It is a dimensionless. Like that, we can prove this. The given equation is a dimensionless also. This is one method. One method is because of it is the ratio of what is the equation he gave. It is the ratio of electrostatic force and the gravitational force between the electron and the proton. So force, same units. So no unit for this ratio. If there is no unit, there will be no dimensional formula. Like that also we can write. Next he is asking one more. By substituting the values of these, what is the value of this ratio? What is the value of this ratio? So now you substitute the values. K is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. So which is equal to 9 into 10 to the power of 9. E is nothing but charge of an electron, 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. G is nothing but universal gravitational constant. Its value is 6.64 into 10 to the power of minus 12. M is the mass of an electron. Its value is 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg. MP is the mass of a proton. Its value is approximately 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 24 kg. You substitute all these values. You substitute the values and try to get its value. Okay, we can do it. Next, 1.4 and 1.5 already we discussed in theory concepts. I am going to 1.6. 4-point charges. 4-point charges. QA 2 microcoulomb. QB minus 5 microcoulomb, QC 2 microcoulomb, and QD minus 5 microcoulomb are located at the corners of a square ABCD of side 10 centimeter. What is the force on charge of 1 microcoulomb placed at the center of a square? Placed at the center of a square. This is the problem. A square of side 10 centimeter he gave. Now we are considering a beautiful square of side 10 centimeter. This is QA, QB, QC, QD. Now he is placing a charge of Q. He is placing a charge of Q, where Q is equal to 1 microcoulomb. In the problem he gave, where Q is equal to 1 microcoulomb. Then what is the net force acting on this? What is the net force acting on this? So here, whenever you want to find the force between any two charges, we have a beautiful formula, 9 into 10 to the power of 9 Q1 Q2 by R square. This is the formula, basic formula. Then what are the forces will act? What are the forces will act? How many forces will act? Because of this charge QA, one force will act. This is positive and this is positive. There will be a repulsive force will act. That I am calling for your convenience FA. What is FA? Force acting on Q due to the charge QA. Now what is the formula to find out FA? FA is equal to 9 into 10 to the power of 9, QA is nothing but 2 microcoulomb. Q is nothing but 1 microcoulomb divided by this distance I should take. This distance. This is the distance between QA and Q. So this distance I should take. Now to get the distance, we'll take this right angled triangle. This is A and this is A. So if you apply a Pythagoras theorem, it will be root 2A. The length of the diagonal is root 2A. In that we want only the half. So if I call it as an R, now the R is nothing but root 2A by 2, which is equal to A by root 2. A by root 2. We want only half, root 2A by 2, which is equal to A by root 2. Now, A by root 2. A is nothing but 10 centimeter. You make it into meters. So 0.1 by root 2 whole square, because A is equal to 10 centimeter, 0.1 meter. If you further simplify, two into 9 into 2 into minus 12 plus 9 minus 3 divided by 0.1 whole square, which is equal to 1 into 10 to the power of minus 2. 9 fours are 36 minus 1, which is equal to 3.6 Newton. Similarly, because of this QB, one more force will act. But here QB is the negative. So this is negative and this is positive. Then in what direction the force will act? In this direction, the force will act, which is equal to FB. Then what is the formula for FB? FB is equal to 9 into 10 to the power of 9, 5 into 10 to the power of minus 6, 1 into 10 to the power of minus 6 divided by this value, 0.1 by root 2 whole square. So which we are going to have 9 into 5, 45. If it goes into numerator, 2, 45 2s are 90, minus 12, minus 3, here minus 2, the value will be 9 Newton if you further simplify. Similarly, because of QC, one more force will act at the center. This is positive and this is positive. Obviously, there will be a repulsive force, FC. FC is equal to, again, Q1. So 9 into 10 to the power of 9. Q1 is here Q zero. 2 microcoulomb. 2 into 10 to the power of minus 6. Q 1 into 10 to the power of minus 6 divided by 0.1 by root 2 whole square. It is same. So if you simplify, you are going to get 3.6 Newton. Similarly, because of this, one more force will act. Because of this, one more force will act. Again, QD is negative. So there will be an attractive force. Because it is negative, it is positive. Here force we are finding. So the direction of the force will be like this. Again, FD is equal to 9 into 10 to the power of 9, 5 into 10 to the power of minus 6, 1 into 10 to the power of minus 6 divided by 0.1 by root 2 whole square. So which is equal to 9 Newton. 9 Newton. Now by seeing these four equations or four values, we come to know that after seeing all these four, we come to know that FA is equal to FC and FB is equal to FD. Now at O, that means O is nothing but here center. Like this, the forces are acting at the center. If I take these two, I want to find out the resultant of all these four forces. So we don't have any formula directly to find the resultant of four or three forces. More than two forces, we don't have any formula. So because of that reason, first every time you have to take initially two forces, then after two forces, then after further you need to simplify. Because of that reason, I am taking FA and FC. These two are acting in opposite direction. FA and FC are acting in opposite direction. And moreover, FA is equal to FC. Then what is the net force acting at O due to these two? 0. Because FA is equal to FC. And moreover, those two are acting in opposite direction. So the net force, because net force at O, because of FA and FC is 0. In the same manner, if I go with B and D, again FB is equal to FD. Moreover, those two are acting in opposite direction. So obviously, the net force at O because of these two will be also 0. Net force at O because of these two is 0. Andre idi get cancelled. Net force because of these two is also 0. Andre idi also get 0. Then what is the total force at O now? 0. Next problem. So this is the method we need to follow while solving the PUC problems. In objective, directly by seeing these values, this and this are same, and Q is common for both. So the force depends upon charges and distance. Distance is also same. So without solving this also, we can say that FB is equal to FD. Why? Because the charges are same and the distance is also same. Charges are same and distance is also same. So the force will be same. Directly we can write FB is equal to FD. Here is also the charges are same because QC is equal to QA. QC is equal to QA. Either 2 micro, either 2 micro. So charges are same and the distance is also same. Charges are same and the distance is also same. So the force will be also same. That means nothing but FA is equal to FC. Then directly we can approach here. Directly we can say the value of the net force acting at the center will be 0 without solving the problem. But as far as the same problem as given in PUC, you have to follow all these steps. This is the 1.6th problem. So 1.7 is also theory question. Already we discussed it in our regular PUC classes. Now I will go with the 1.8. Two-point charges QA and QB are located 20 centimeter apart. Are located 20 centimeter apart in vacuum. What is the electric field at the midpoint O of the line AB joining the two charges? Two charges Q1 3 microcoulomb and Q2 minus 3 microcoulomb are separated or located 20 centimeter apart. 20 centimeter is nothing but 0.2 meter in air as the medium. In air medium. What is the net electric field? Net electric field acting at its center. Either A, either B, either O. What is the net electric field acting at the center of those two charges? At the center of those two charges. So here I would like to find the electric intensity. So how many electric fields or electric intensities will act here? Two electric fields will act. One is because of this charge and one is because of this charge. So as we know, wherever or whenever you want to find the electric intensity at any point, at that point we need to imagine one unit positive charge. We need to imagine one unit positive charge. Now this is positive, Q1 is positive and here positive. So the electric intensity E1 will act in this direction. Positive, positive repulsor. E1 will act in this direction. Let E1 be the electric intensity. Let E1 be the electric intensity acting at O. Let E1 be the electric intensity acting at O due to charge Q1. Due to charge Q1. Now what is the formula to find out electric intensity? E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square is the formula. This is general formula. R andre distance between these two. This distance we should consider. So E1 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught illi charge Q1. Illi distance estapa? Here the distance is AO. AO whole square. If I substitute those values, 9 into 10 to the power of 9, Q1 is 3 microcoulomb, 3 into 10 to the power of minus 6. Distance between A and B is 0.2. Here half of the distance only we should consider. 0.2 by 2, which is equal to 0.1 whole square. Now which is equal to 9 3s are 27, 10 to the 10 cube here will get 0.1 into 0.1, 1 into 10 to the power of minus 2. Then we are going to have 27 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per coulomb. Newton per coulomb is the unit of electric intensity. Now because of the charge Q2, one more electric field will act here. Whereas this positive, this negative. So the attraction will take place. So the direction of electric field will be like this. Let E2 be the electric intensity. Let E2 be the electric intensity at O due to charge Q2. At O due to charge Q2. Then how we are going to get E2 value? E2 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, that is nothing but 9 into 10 to the power of 9 Q2 by BO square. Q2 by BO square. So 9 into 10 to the power of 9 Q2 value. Though here minus is there, we have to consider plus only as we discussed. Because of that minus symbol only, we got the direction of E2 like this. That is nothing but already we make use of minus symbol here. That's why not necessary to consider this minus symbol. 3 into 10 to the power of minus 6 divided by 0.1 whole square. So, which is also we are going to have 27 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per Coulomb. Now at O, how many electric intensities are acting? At O, two electric intensities are acting, E1 and E2. Moreover, those two are acting in the same direction. Moreover, those two are acting in the same direction. Then what will be the net electric intensity? EO is equal to sum of those two because of the same direction. Where E1 is equal to 27 into 10 to the power of 5. E2 is also 27 into 10 to the power of 5, which is equal to 54 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per Coulomb. So the net electric field acting at O will be now, the answer is 54 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per Coulomb. Next, in the same problem, he is asked one more thing. If a negative test charge of magnitude 1.5 into 10 to the power of minus 9 Coulomb is placed at this point, what is the force experienced by the test charge? What is telling is, at the point O is placed a test charge. Enta test charge adi negative test charge 1.5 into 10 to the power of minus 9 Coulomb. What is the force experienced? What is the force experienced? Whenever a charged particle is placed in an electric field, it will experience a force F is equal to EQ. If it is the positively charged particle, it will experience a force in the same direction as that of an electric field. If it is a negatively charged particle, it will experience a force opposite to that of a direction of electric field. Based on that, F is equal to E value. Just now we got 54 into 10 to the power of 5 Q value minus 1.5 into 10 to the power of minus 9. 1.5 means 3 by 2 we can write. 27 3s are 81. So minus 81 into 10 to the power of minus 4 Newton. Here minus symbol indicates that it will experience a force opposite to this. In this direction, it will experience a force. Next 1.9. 1.9. Okay. So remaining problems will finish off by Monday. Tuesday onwards, we'll go with a continuous lesson, that is electric potential. Thank you.